Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to drboystv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I am here to kind of share something that's a little bit strange to me. If you go to my Instagram, I put a video up on my Instagram. My Instagram is the real Boyce Watkins, and on Instagram, I shared a video from a journalist. I don't have his name in front of me, but it's all out there in the video. And this journalist claims that they spoke to somebody that was in the room with Jamie Foxx. And this person says that Jamie was blind and had a brain clot, that he was left blind and partially paralyzed as a result of having a stroke after getting the jab. And I know a lot of you had a reaction to it. The reactions were very strong. First off, I want to say I welcome, first of all, to everybody. And please shout out your city. Let me know what city you're from. Also, give me a yes if you can hear me okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and my Instagram is the real Boyce Watkins, and that's where you can go check out this video. Make a decision for yourself. I know that it was controversial for some people, to even share this video. Some people were immediately calling it a rumor and fake news, and I'm going to tell you, I shared it because I wanted to be honest in terms of what I am kind of wondering. As I hope that Jamie's okay, and I hope he's all right. I want to kind of approach it from this perspective. Okay, so Jamie, as you know, Jamie went to the hospital for an undisclosed medical condition, right? An undisclosed medical condition. So nobody knows what the condition was. There was a deliberate effort to make sure that the public was not aware of what this condition was, right? When they say undisclosed, honestly, I think that's either because it's something that maybe the family wouldn't be proud of, or it's something that they just don't want people to know about for whatever reason, right? I don't think it's just. I really think if it were something simple, I kind of feel like they would give a little more information. And so anyway, so Jamie goes to the hospital, right? Everybody's wishing him well. People are trying to figure out what happened. I remember seeing something where Mike Tyson kind of let it slip out that it was a stroke. I think the narrative to this point has been that Jamie had a stroke. Now, is that true? I don't know. And the hard part is that nothing's really being confirmed. So anyway, as I was sitting here watching just to kind of see what was going on with this, I remember seeing where his daughter came out and basically kind of squashed all the rumors about Jamie's condition. She said, "Anybody remember that? Give me a yes if you remember that." And his daughter, who's a good daughter, by the way, representing her father's interest. I respect that. I love it when my daughter does that for me. It makes a father very proud. She basically said, y'all tripping. The media is running wild with rumors. None of this is true. He's at home playing pickleball. Do y'all remember that? When he was supposed to be home playing pickleball, and Jamie is just so you know from the financial side, when somebody like Jamie Foxx just ironically says, I'm playing pickleball, he's not doing that for free. Like there's some sort of endorsement deal. There's usually some money attached. So there was a strategy behind why they said he was at home playing pickleball. Because if you actually look and do the research on it, Jamie has what appears to be a pretty massive endorsement deal with a company that is in the pickleball industry. Pickleball is a little strange. It's kind of like tennis, except the rules are a little bit different. My sister's boyfriend actually owns a pickleball team, so that was when I was introduced to it. So pickleball apparently is becoming the thing. So that was the reason why, in my view, I would speculate that Jamie Foxx's daughter deliberately mentioned that he was at home playing pickleball. And the reason I say that also is not just for the financial lesson of it, to let you guys know celebrities don't typically do things just intention or without intention. They don't do things just sort of randomly. Typically, whenever they talk about a topic, it's because they're promoting something or whatever. There's money behind it. But the other thing was, I wanted to mention this, and this is one of the things that crossed my mind. And I know people have concerns about even talking about this. I guess people feel like you should be quiet. I'm not going to really be quiet because here's the thing. If he's at home playing pickleball, then the best way to show that he's at home playing pickleball is to take a picture of him playing pickleball, right? I mean, am I crazy for saying that? If you want to kill the rumors and the speculation, I want to ask you all this. Give me a yes or no to this question. I want to get a yes or no to this question. Has anybody seen Jamie Foxx make any public appearances since he had his incident? Has anybody seen one time that Jamie was like coming out of a restaurant, a picture of him at an award ceremony, a picture of him, a video of him on a movie set, pictures of him playing pickleball, pictures of him smiling with the family. Has anybody seen that? Now again, I'm not saying that this isn't true. I'm not saying that, because we don't know. That's the problem. When you leave a void of information, would you say, yeah, we know that the attention's already on us, and we even want more attention so that we can draw attention to upcoming TV shows and things like that? Because they did make an announcement about a show that Jamie had. I think there was a show called Beat Shazam and another one called We Are Family. So they took the time to mention the shows. They took the time to mention the endorsements, but they didn't take the time to confirm that he's okay. Now Charmin says he's private, but he's actually not private. Jamie Foxx is not private. He's about as public as they come. Jamie Foxx is known all around the globe. There's not a country on the planet Jamie Foxx can go to and not be recognized. So from the moment Jamie went to the hospital, I think a lot of people were wondering, okay, is he all right? What's really going on? And the family was pretty vague about what was really happening. So effectively, so this video, and I put it on my Instagram. It's on my Instagram's The Real Boyce Watkins. On this video, there's a journalist who says that he talked to someone that was in the room with Jamie, and he says that the person told him that Jamie had the blood clot and that he was partially blind and partially paralyzed. Now, is he better? Is he unparalyzed? Did he get his sight back? Nobody really knows. But at the end of the day, um, this speculation was really actually driven by the family. When you sort of give partial information and not complete information, then the public is going to speculate. So again, I'm not making fun of any of this. I mean, man, I hope that he's okay. I really do. I really hope he's okay. But I really think that what's also fascinating here, and this is another reason why I feel compelled to talk about this, is that for the last 3 years, we've had a back and forth in this country about those jabs. And Michael Wilson, I'm not going to say Michael Wilson's right or wrong. You can disagree or agree with him, but I'm going to put his voice out there because I believe that if you're going to put voices out there that told people to go get that shot, then I think you should put the voices out there for people that are warning you about the possible side effects. Was this something that hit Jamie? I don't know. But let me ask y'all this, yes or no. If that was the case, if they did find evidence that perhaps he had some sort of reaction to that shot, do you think that they would tell you? Yes or no? Do you think that they would confess? Do you say, hey, do you think they'd come back and do an apology tour and say, gosh, we were really wrong and we really should have listened more. We should listen to some of those Stanford and Harvard doctors that were telling us that maybe we should reconsider this. We should have listened to all of the medical professionals. I mean, I talked to everybody when that whole pandemic happened. I wasn't no dummy. I wasn't going to run out and just make a decision about a serious health issue without getting information. So me and my wife were both PhDs. We were consuming information nonstop. We were on C-SPAN. We were watching all the shows. We were doing everything we could to try to get as much information as possible. And one of the things that we found was it was almost like, there's my wife, by the way. I love her. And shout out to all smart Black women because y'all make us better. And we were just kind of sitting there like, okay, it sounds like somebody already made the decision without even consulting us. Somebody made the decision without doing the research. Somebody made the decision without thinking about the long-term consequences. And here's the thing. You guys know I'm a finance professor. I'm not just a regular guy who's running his mouth on the internet. My doctorate's in finance, and I understand how money is a drug for these companies. Money is the motive. And when you're talking about something that's going to generate well over $100 billion, billion with a B, for pharmaceutical companies, do you really think that they're going to put your health in the way of their $100 billion payday? Seriously, do you think that you staying alive or you not having a side effect is going to stop them or affect whether or not they go after their $100 billion? They're going to go after the bag every time. So when I saw how much money was being made and I saw how many people were being censored, smart people who just had a dissenting point of view, who just had some concerns, I said, okay, the fix is in, man. This is a problem. I got a sister who's a medical doctor. I said, you gonna get that shot, Tangi? She said, oh, hell no. She said, I'm not putting that in my body. She said, I used to do clinical trials for drugs and vaccines. She said, it takes years to come up with something like that. Years. So my sister, the medical doctor. I have someone in my family. This is another reason why I don't mind talking about this a little bit with y'all. And I hope I can say this and still be understood. I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm asking you to hear me. I have someone very close to me in my family who they're not like me. They're not controversial like me. They're not somebody who's going to get out and say what's on their mind. They go along with the program. He was a 30 something year old black male. He got that shot and he was in the hospital with a heart condition a week later. Do you hear what I'm saying? This was not somebody I read about. This was not some story that I heard. This was not something I saw on the news. This was somebody in my family that I know, love and trust. So I'm not saying that everybody's gonna die because they got it. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that it was the worst decision a person could have ever made one way or the other. All I'm saying is that I think people should have gotten a choice. That's it. I just think people should have got a choice. And I think that kind of persecution, shutting down all opposition, and then doing these weird mental acrobatics where they're somehow saying that the people who didn't get the jab were the reason that the jabbed up people were not protected. That didn't even make no sense. If you got a jab and you're supposed to be protected, then why do you care if I got it or not? Your jab is supposed to protect you from people who didn't get it. Am I right or am I crazy? What do y'all think? I mean, I don't know. Am I talking out of the side of my neck? Is this insane? Or I mean, because I think these people are nuts, man. So here's the deal. Let's go back to Jamie Foxx. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. You're watching an odd episode of Dr. Boyce TV. I really wanted to talk about this Jamie Foxx thing because I think it's worth discussing because you're talking about Black people's health. Um, so after Jamie goes into the hospital with this undisclosed medical condition, and then people start, talking and speculating on what might have happened. His daughter comes out and says, "Oh, Jamie's fine. Jamie's cool. He's out playing pickleball." Again, no proof of that. No pictures of him playing pickleball. No video. No nothing. They could have easily snapped a shot and said, "Let's just give this to the public so they'll stop speculating." But they didn't do that. That tells me that there's more to it. That tells me there's more to it. You can get mad if you want to, and I'm sorry if we disagree, but you can't tell me that there isn't more to this. So as Jamie, was then sort of healing, and he's going through his healing process. Now there's the bigger conversation about what really happened to him, and I think that the best way for them to kill all speculation is to come clean. Most of the time, when Jamie's family has spoken on any of this, they've only talked about something related to money. They've talked about some upcoming project. They talked about his pickleball endorsement. They've talked about his new shows and everything else that he has going on, but they don't actually talk specifically about how he's actually doing and what actually happened to him. So again, people can get mad about the speculation and say, "Oh, the speculation's a bunch of BS." But remember, you feed into speculation. You create speculation when you don't give facts to kind of undermine or dispute the speculation. So maybe they're going to clear it up. I'm going to tell you what my prediction is. My prediction is that they won't be able to. I don't really know if they're going to be able to prove people wrong, because the reality is that there are people who might actually be right. As much as I hate to say it, something serious could have really happened to Jamie. I think he got Nick Cannon to replace him on one of his shows. I think it was the one called Beat Shazam. He asked Nick to step in and host the show. They found a stunt double for the movie he was working on with Cameron Diaz. They're talking about him playing pickleball, but ain't nobody seen him playing pickleball. They're releasing statements that came from Jamie, but anybody could have wrote those statements. There's been not even any audio of Jamie talking and saying, "Hey, y'all, what's up? It's me, your boy Jamie Foxx. I just want everybody to know I'm good. I'm in the hospital. They're taking good care of me." No, none of that. None of that. There was a statement on Instagram. Again, anybody could have put that statement up. So my belief, just being honest with you, is that something significant has occurred. Maybe he's going to come back. I hope he does. I like the guy. I don't have anything against him. I don't want him to stay sick or anything like that. But I really think that there's something here. And I think that they have every incentive in the world to cover it up. They have every incentive in the world to make sure that people don't know exactly what happened. because I think that if they were to actually tell the truth about some of the after effects of the pandemic, they would have a real revolt on their hands. They'd have a revolt because there are a lot of people who had perspectives that I listened to that were not being heard. I listened to all the people who told me to get the shot. My own doctor told me to get it. I listened to him. I listened to everybody who told me to get it. And but what I also did that a lot of people didn't do is I listened to the people who told me not to get it. At the All Black National Convention, I had doctors there who said, "Yeah, everybody should get the shot." And then Rizza Islam came in to speak, and Rizza said, "Don't do it." I listened to everybody because I wanted to make the right decision, and I think that that's really what you have to do because give me a yes or no. Do you think this government cares about you? Do you think this government is going to let your health get in the way of their agenda? Do you think that the government cares about you? Yes or no? Give me a yes or no. Do you think these corporations, these pharmaceutical companies care about you? Do you think that they're going to let your health get in the way of their 100, $200 billion payday? I can tell you as a finance PhD, hell no, hell to the no. There's there's evidence after evidence, thousands of pieces of evidence that shows very clearly that when corporate America is trying to get a bag, your health is not even on the bottom of their list of concerns. If they can make you sick today and you won't notice it until 5 or 10 years later, they don't give a damn. They do not care. So that means that protecting you and your family is really your job. And this is the reason why I'm going out on a limb and having this conversation, even though I know I'm going to get people that are going to get mad. They're going to call me an anti-vaxxer, which I'm not. I'm not anti-nothing. I'm just pro-choice, pro-freedom. That's it. They're gonna call me a person spreading rumors. I'm not spreading rumors. I'm telling. I'm just. I'm. It ain't no rumor that I'm seeing the things that I'm seeing. It's not a rumor that there have not been any public pictures of Jamie Foxx since this incident. It's not a rumor that they said he was playing pickleball, but haven't produced one picture of video of him playing pickleball. Anyway, it's not a rumor that I have a point of view, right? So that's not a rumor. I'm talking about facts. Facts are that this is what I'm thinking, and I'm sharing what I'm thinking. So again, when more facts come out, I'll talk about that too. So I know that there are going to be people that are going to be upset about this, but I'm doing this because I think you have to really consider the seriousness of what they're doing to you. Because here's what's going to happen in the very near future. I speculate that there's going to be a real pandemic that comes along. I've read stories that there are viruses that could come, hit the U.S. that would be far worse than the original virus. Um, in that situation, I'm going to take it on a case by case basis. How I protect me and my family. I think that when it happens again, the responses are going to be very different. I think that they did this and they were taking data. They were kind of watching the reactions. I don't think that virus. I think the virus was invented in the lab. I think they've got worse things out there that can hurt you. And I encourage anybody who is anti-vax to not be so rigid in your thinking. Like, I think that at some point, if there is a virus that comes along that kills, say, 5% of the population or 10%, you might want to change your views. Right. So I'm not anti nothing because it's silly to be anti something or pro something when you don't have all the facts and all the information. So all I'm saying to intelligent black people is get the facts before you make your decision. But once you make your decision, don't you let nobody talk you out of it. Don't let people bully you into doing something you don't want to do. I agree. Who said this? Maurice Owens says, build up your immune system. I mean, yeah, that's another point. If black life really matters, if you really want to stay alive, if you really want black people to live, then we would talk about health all the time. You don't just talk about health during a health crisis. You don't talk about health just during a medical emergency. You don't talk about Big Mama's diabetes after she gets her toe cut off. You talk about health issues from a preventative standpoint. You say, well, diabetes is killing black people. How do we stop it before it happens? What are we doing with our kids? What are we feeding them? Why do they promote so much fast food in the hood? And why do we think that eating that greasy, salty soul food is good for us? That's the stuff that kills black people. That virus ain't got nothing on fried chicken when it comes to killing black people. That virus ain't got nothing on grandma's pig feet, hog mogs, and collard greens and everything else. That virus ain't got nothing on all the fatty food that we eat, the series of processed food, all the stuff that we get in the grocery store kills you worse than any virus ever could. In fact, it opens the door up to what they call the four horsemen of death. The four horsemen of death, the four things that tend to kill people the most are cancer, heart disease, was it heart disease, diabetes, and Alzheimer's. Give me a yes if you know anybody in your family who has died or is suffering from cancer. Do you know anybody in your family that's suffering from or has died from heart disease? Do you know anybody in your family that has suffered or died from Alzheimer's? Give me a yes in the chat. Say their name if you want to. We can do an ashe about that. Do you have somebody in your family or yourself who has diabetes? Give me a yes in the chat. I want y'all to look at how many yeses come up. Everybody answer. Everybody answer the question. Danielle says cancer and dementia. Yeah. I mean, look at that. So the pandemic was already here before the pandemic started. The pandemic was already happening in the black community long before the virus ever arrived. Y'all been in a pandemic since slavery. The pandemic's always black people been dying since forever. And the pandemic didn't stop after the pandemic was over. It didn't stop just because Joe Biden said it stopped. The pandemic didn't stop just because Dr. Fauci stepped down from his post. The pandemic didn't stop just because they stopped talking about it. The pandemic continues. So I'm gonna give y'all some advice on something that you might want to consider as your method of therapy. This is called this the Dr. Boyce vaccine. So in the Dr. Boyce vax, here's what I want you to do. I want you to remember that the four horsemen of death are cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, and diabetes, and that the four ways to fight against those four things are exercise, watching your diet, getting plenty of sleep, and managing your mental health. Those are the four things you do to fight against the four horsemen of death. You focus on your mental health. That's the M. Exercise. Get your chubby ass off the couch and go walk around the block a couple times. I get my chubby ass up and I do a little bit, just enough so I don't get fat. My goal, Roland Martin is my role model and my mentor. You know why Roland is my hero? Let me tell you why Roland is my motivation. Roland's my motivation because every time I get up and I run, I think as long as I get to the finish line, even if I'm walking, I'll never be as big as Roland Martin. So I say, okay, this is my anti-Roland Martin, where as long as I get across the finish line, even if I'm in last place in the race, even if I walked half the time, I'll never be as big as Roland. So, and maybe Roland will find motivation. Maybe he'll get so pissed off he'll go to the gym and start looking sharp because I want him to live. I like that. I like him. I don't like him, but I like him. He hates me more than I did. I don't actually dislike Roland, but Roland can't stand me. And y'all can see why, because sometimes I just say things and I probably sound like a complete asshole when I do it. But whatever. Anyway, so remember you. So here's the way to remember this: you take your meds to defeat the four horsemen of death. Meds, MEDS, stands for mental health, exercise, diet, and sleep. Get plenty of sleep. Sleep is very important for your body. Also, stay hydrated. MEDS. And then the four horsemen of death are CHAD. That is cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, and diabetes. So if you take your meds, you defeat Chad, CHAD. So that's how you stay alive. That's the Dr. Boyce Vax. That's my recommendation. As far as Jamie Foxx goes, man, I hope he's okay. I hope he's all right. I hope he heals and has a quick recovery. I hope that the family clears up any rumors or any speculation that's out there. If they want to do that, they can do that very quickly. Just take a picture. If they want to shut people like me up, just take a picture of him playing pickleball. Take a picture of him in his office working on his next movie. Show some video of him jogging around the block. He's in good shape. Like maybe he's back running again. If he's playing pickleball, then that means he can obviously get up and run and stand up and do things. So just show a little bit of that, like 2 seconds of footage, throw it up on the Instagram. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think you're gonna see that footage because I think that there is something that they're actually hiding, and I hate saying that, but I have to be honest with you, and I have to tell you exactly what my instincts are telling me. So with that being said, I hope he's okay, and I hope you're okay, and I want you guys to really take care of your health because remember, the pandemic never stopped. Black people are getting sick even after the pandemic is over. Do not let your guard down. They are trying to kill you. They're trying to kill you with the food. They're trying to kill you with the with all kinds of stuff, with the media and the propaganda, with all the ads for unhealthy stuff. They'll sell you donuts in the front of the grocery store and diabetes medication in the back. It's all a cycle. That's what they want. That's how big pharma makes their money. That's how the food industry makes their money. When Michelle Obama came into the White House and tried to tell people to watch their diet, the food industry stepped in and forced her to stop talking about diet and only focus on exercise. Do y'all know that? Do y'all know that? Anybody remember when Michelle Obama was doing her whole healthy, America thing? Remember that? Well, when Michelle Obama first came in, she was talking about diet and exercise. Well, when the food industry, the food lobby got involved, they put pressure on the White House, and she couldn't talk about food anymore. She could only talk about exercise. Like, keep eating McDonald's, keep eating Burger King, keep eating Taco Bell, keep eating candy bars, but just do some jumping jacks every day and it'll be fine. And that's not true. There was a time 50 years ago where childhood diabetes was extremely rare, extremely, extremely rare. It was very rare that children had diabetes. Now it's everywhere. Now so many kids have diabetes. It's crazy. So again, the pandemic's happening. Do what you wish with this information. I hope that you I hope that you are taking care of yourselves. I hope that you love yourselves and love each other. And I love Jamie Foxx, man. I want to see Jamie do all right too. So God bless you guys. Hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. And by the way, I have a new book out. It's called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. It is on Amazon. Read the reviews. The reviews are very good. It's a best-selling book. It's basically 10 direct strategies that your family can use to apply very simply that will allow you to build generational wealth that lasts for the next 200 years. You guys know my doctorate's in finance. All I talk about is Black people. And that's what this book is all about. You're not going to find these models in any textbook because these are models I designed specifically for Black families. So if you're interested, go take a look. And also on my website, boycewatkins.com, we've got other things on there as well, like a list of AI stocks you can invest in. It's a free list, so feel free to go take a look at that. And also I have a training called How to Make Money Without Working. So God bless you guys. Have a good day. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you soon. Take care now. Peace.